Welcome to my video and welcome to your healing journey. Of course, as I have learned during my healing journey, and as I will share with you as you attempt to heal as well, the most important conversations that I had were conversations with self. The conversations that you have where you ask yourself, why do I do things this way? Why do I feel this way? Why do I believe this way? Why do I behave this way? Uh, those, questions, getting in touch with self, those conversations for self is going to be, you know, the healing. You're going to find the healing that you need. My name is Simona, and I am here to assist you in healing and finding what you need in order to be happy, whole, and fulfilled. And again, as I share, I do hope and pray that you do find something, if not everything, that you would need in order to continue to wholeness. So, the second most important thing that I learned to do in my healing journey was to validate my emotions and to validate my feelings. Um, Although it's just well meaning, I guess, well meaning, well thoughtful, well thought um, advice that is always given is, oh, just get over it. You'll be okay. Don't cry about it. Don't cry over spilled milk. Don't be depressed. Don't have your feelings. Don't let your feelings flow. Don't let your feelings out. Don't share. Like, again, everything is with pretending that our feelings are bad. Like, they are just this cancer that needs to be cut out and thrown away. So, when I first started my healing journey, that was the one thing that I was in search of. How to get over my emotions, how not to feel my emotions, how not to feel, just how not to feel. Just be happy. And that I have found was the worst possible thing to do, because God created us whole. We have organs that we don't really remember from health ed what they do, our science, biology, what those organs do, but we have them. It's necessary. We have 10 fingers. We have 10 toes. There's a reason why there is a number 10 for what we need, or, what the general blueprint of human anatomy is. So, with that being said, emotions. Everyone has emotions. Even the smallest baby have emotions. Even people who don't remember who they are, dementia, schizophrenia, not schizophrenia, dementia, Alzheimer's. Forgive me for misspeaking. Emotions, they are there. Our emotions are a compass. They are a compass that directs us away from things that don't serve us, away from situations that don't serve us, away from bad situations, detrimental situations, from people, places, things. Our emotions are there to guide us. What most of us have not been taught is how to correctly use those emotions and how to correctly identify those emotions and to correctly process those emotions. So, in my healing journey, I did have to shift gears on what I believed and what I thought about emotions. Um, I knew that emotions were valid, but I also knew that my emotions were not getting me in good places, not getting me into good places, and not putting me into good places mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically. So I knew that again, something was not right. Something was malfunctioning. So in all of my research and all of my reading, my hours, countless hours, weeks, days, months of watching videos, reading articles, and just just getting everything down to what is the onion. What is the core of it? What is the core? And the core is, yes, our emotions are valid and they do help us, but they can only help us if we know how to use our emotions to our advantage and how to properly identify them and to learn what they are trying to teach us, because pain is a teacher. It'll touch a hot stove, you'll get burned. Ride a bike without knee pads and a helmet, fall down, you skin yourself up, you'll learn to balance a little bit better because that hurt. So, pain is a teacher. Absolutely. Pain is a teacher. It is there to, direct us. It is there to, keep us out of certain situations. The self-talk that I do for myself, that I have learned to do for myself, it allows me to have my emotions. I validate my emotions. I question my emotions. I talk to self. I talk to myself, my emotions, my heart. I talk to Simona, and I really get down to, okay, the center of the onion. So I have learned that once I start peeling the onion back and I get to the root, as the older people would say, the root, get to the root. And once you get to the root, then you'll understand, oh, okay, that's why that leaf is there. That's why that branch is there. That's why that trunk is there. So you just walk yourself all the way back. And, the root starts as a seed. So what's the seed? What was the seed? What was the seed that this sprouted from? What was it? And why? Why did, things grow from this seed in this way? So when people, well-meaning people, would tell me, let this be your last cry. Don't cry over, don't cry over this. Don't cry about that. Don't cry. Don't cry. No. Process those emotions. Allow them to flow so that you can get to know them. Get to know your emotions. Get to know why they are there. Get to know what your emotions are telling you. Get to know what changes you need to make. Get to know why, just the why. And again, it is just walking back from the leaf, back to the branch, back to the trunk, back to the root, back to the seed. what is, the seed? Like, what is it? Like, what is it? So, learning to properly manage your emotions. And that is, what emotional intelligence, because you've learned and you've studied and you've become intelligent about your emotions. Um, Emotional maturity, because again, you've studied, you've learned your emotions, you're well versed in them, you have a PhD in why I feel how I feel. So all of those terms just again really boils down to the root, the seed, finding out the why. And once you get used to the why, then that enables you to respond instead of react. Because a react is more primal, it's more, in the heat, it's more, just I'm fired up and I'm ready to fight. But to respond is to be able to observe and see if it even warrants a reaction. Because most of the time it doesn't, because someone's behavior or action towards us, if we boil it down to what their seed is or might be, doesn't have anything to do with us. So I have learned to respond. And there have been, plenty of times recently where the old me would have been in a shouting match over something as meaningless as a parking spot. Because I would have been like offensed because you slighted me when this person didn't even know me. So it has allowed me to remain in my peace, remain in my calm, remain in my happiness. Because, honey, if you're going to get that upset over a parking spot, you can have it, because it's not worth my peace. It's not worth my happiness. And you got a lot more things going on than a parking spot. And I'm just using this as an example to show that, emotions, you have to learn to control your emotions and not allow your emotions to control you. But that comes with learning your emotions, allowing your emotions to be there, allowing the emotions to flow. Sit with those emotions instead of stuffing them down, instead of trying to eliminate them, instead of running from them. Sit with your emotions, learn them, learn what they're trying to tell you, learn what you need to fix, learn what changes you need to make, learn, what belief systems you need to adjust. So your emotions are not a bad thing. And the people telling you just get over it, don't cry over spilled milk, get out your feelings, they are well-meaning. They are. But it's terrible advice. It really is terrible advice for someone who really wants to heal, and from someone who really does truly want to get over and get past the situation. So, again, the second most important piece of information that I learned in my healing journey is to embrace my emotions, to sit with my emotions, to get to know my emotions, to learn my emotions. Because as we all know now, through conversations for self. Healing and self love are so very necessary.